For most beginners, you will never think about the default canvas width or want to make changes to it. But I think it's important that you know what it is and where it is in Breakdance. And in case you want to make changes to that canvas width, you can do that within Global Settings. Within the builder, go to the top, 3 dots, select Global Settings, and then from the tabs, we go to Containers. It says Containers here. As you can see, there's only one container to choose from, and that is Sections. That section is the basic DNA building block for your page, and we have the section over here. Click on Edit, and we are greeted with values that we have no idea what they are. I did some research, and I guess this container width can be anything from 1100 pixels to 1120 pixels. What do we mean by that? This section container is the width here in which the content will appear. I will visualize that by bringing in a div, and I'll put it here in the middle. I'll select the div, go to background and give it a color. Let's make it yellow. Next, I'll go to container width, and I'll put it on percentage at 100. This is the container width. Even though it says sections, the container width we are referring to is this width here. Under Global Settings, I'll open it again. We give the container width a narrow setting, something like 700. And note how everything squashes. The section technically hasn't changed. What has happened is that the canvas within the section has shrunk to 700 pixels. Clear it by clicking here on Clear, and it goes back to the default. The default value width in Breakdance is perfect. You don't need to mess with it. The reason you may want to come in here is that you may be working on a magazine layout website. Magazine or blogging type of websites often default to something much smaller, like 900 pixels. This is not a hard and fast and set rule. This is something that people use that makes them feel good. The reason why they narrow it is that there is a feeling that when you have a text-intensive website, is easier to read and follow when it's a little bit squashed and not spread out too wide. The standard for websites starts at around 1100. I put it at 1100, I'll clear it, and you can see a small change happens. Let's go for 1120, clear it, and no change. And that's how we find out that the container width standard for Breakdance is 1120. This is not standard across page builders or themes within WordPress. It varies slightly from that 1100 to up to 1280. This is where you come and make these changes. You also have control over the vertical padding. I choose this section. Let's give it a background, just something a little bit. And we go back to our sections, vertical padding, and first we put it on 0. And now you can see that the vertical padding, the padding there at the top and the bottom has gone to 0. Clear it out. The padding then for vertical padding is equal padding applied at the top and the bottom. We put in the value here of 25. 25 at the top and the bottom. Let's increase that. Let's make it 250. You have padding at the top and at the bottom. Every time now, when you bring in a new container, it will have this vertical padding, 250 at the top and at the bottom. Horizontal padding, I'll clear out the vertical padding. For horizontal padding, again, let's put in a value of 0. And note as I do that, everything on my page has changed because this is a global setting. We can preview it. And not much has changed, and the reason there is so little horizontal padding applied is just to make sure that when this section is viewed on smaller devices and their screens are limited like mobile devices, even tablets, that there is a little bit of room on the left and the right to make sure that it will still be legible on those devices. Clear it out, and very little happens. And after playing around with it, I can tell you that the horizontal padding is 20 pixels. I type in 20, I'll clear it, and nothing happens because it is 20. In extreme cases, you make changes here to your container width, but as a default, the 1120 pixels in Breakdance is perfect. And that's a wrap. To support this channel, a heartfelt like would be great. In addition, you can visit us at w4b.io and remember to check out the complete courses for Breakdance.